Imagine children ridden with 25 seizures, epileptic seizures a day, taking a concoction of 11 or more medications, and some not able to speak. That was a harsh reality for a little boy named Hank, a 7-year-old, who had epilepsy and who was featured on a CBS special focused on how medicinal marijuana can benefit those with epilepsy. Hank was featured on this special because his mother put him in a clinical trial where he began taking 2 doses of Epidiolex per day, which is the non-psychoactive medicinal tincture which contains CBD, an active cannabinoid within marijuana that is responsible for pain relief but contains minimal amounts of THC, so it does not get you high, as a lot of people understand. Those who participated in this trial saw that seizures decreased by 45 to 50%, according to CBS, and the average age was 11 years old. Hank's mother said that not only did the amount of seizures go down, but he began smiling, went back to school, and is now working on speech therapy so he is able to speak again. Cannabis is considered on a federal level illegal. It is a Schedule I drug and is on the same list and is thought to be as addictive and dangerous as heroin and LSD. We have now found and have seen through legalization of medicinal and recreational cannabis that it can be used as medicine and is not as dangerous as heroin and LSD as once previously thought. Today we will look at biological benefits of cannabis, how cannabis works at the state and federal level, and what the future of cannabis looks like. Let's begin with why and how cannabis, something that is said to be as dangerous as heroin, is actually medicinally beneficial. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, although cannabis is technically considered illegal, the FDA has in fact done studies, not enough at this point, but done studies that show that cannabis decreases and shrinks cancer cells, reduces seizures in epileptic patients, lessens pain and anxiety and inflammation, to name a few. A lot of this success has been found in children, which is up for debate as well. However, they're using the cannabinoids CBD and CBN, which are non-psychoactive, so it is not a legitimate argument to say that children shouldn't have cannabis because we don't have to give them things like the traditional flower that people are used to, which helps make up the stigma, the social stigma against cannabis. The amount of things that cannabis can help with is very long. It soothes tremors in Parkinson's patients due to its sedation effects. People from all walks of life and ages, colors have one common thing: cannabis, especially in Colorado. Whatever their preference, there's a culture and industry here that allows them to access the medicine that they need. The important thing is to take back the term stoner and redefine that this is a medicinal community and industry, and it is helping people. Although there are cases of abuse, a lot of times cannabis therapy and treatment can also help with things like that. Dispensaries can be intimidating. However, if you have the right documentation medicinally, you are able to go in, even children. And there are people inside who extensively know what they're talking about, the product that they're dealing with, and how to safely distribute it. People with epilepsy should head in the direction of Charlotte's Web, a strain named after it helped reduce seizures in a little girl named Charlotte Fiji, and has shown to help with seizures more than other strains. There are also high CBD strains called Cherry Darling, which is in a lot of edibles and tinctures, which helps mostly with pain relief, sedation, and soothing effects. Now that we talked about physical benefits of marijuana, let's consider the legal structure surrounding the industry. At a state level, depending on where you live, almost more than half of states in the United States have voted on medicinal cannabis. Depending on where you live, if it's Alaska, Colorado, Oregon, or Washington, there is recreational marijuana sale for distribution for those over the age of 21. However, this is more about medicinal cannabis, talking about regulation and protection of such. Medicinally, a Colorado resident is registered to a primary care physician where they show documentation and then are deemed whether or not they need a red card or a medical marijuana card. Once given this prescription, you are able to go into a medical marijuana center and purchase it. You may be 18 years old when you obtain your red card. You may buy up to 2 ounces a day, and everything must leave the center in a child-proof case and then be kept locked away at home, away from children and pets. Homeowners or people who have spoken to the homeowner may legally grow up to 6 plants in their own home if it is not designated to a different center. Federally, however, marijuana is still a Schedule I drug, and if you are not in a state that accepts these cards, it can still be a possession charge. It can go from a misdemeanor to a felony depending on the severity and the amount of marijuana you have. So depending on where you are, make sure you're careful about possession and consumption. Cannabis became medicinally legal in Colorado in 2000 and recreational in 2012. Since then, dispensaries have opened across the state and in just across the United States, while states have voted to legalize marijuana. However, since it's still on the Schedule I list, we are not able to distribute it in pharmacies as it is still thought of as an illegal substance. Now that we've talked about how cannabis is regulated, let's consider the future of the industry. Currently, Colorado Springs City Council is being faced with a couple issues, namely if Colorado Springs will vote to legalize recreational marijuana. However, on a medicinal level, the City Council is facing things in places called smoke shops, where people are able to take their own product in that same child-safe bag, medicate, and then leave, almost like a bar. However, this gives people whose landlords do not allow them to medicate in their home a safe place to go where they are free of judgment and are able to use the medicine that they need. Without the continued support of U.S. votes and the population, especially in light of the upcoming election, if we don't push for medical marijuana to be protected, then it could be taken away from us. However, with unaffordable health care at the forefront of our political systems and conversations, it's important to fight hard because there are a lot of people, especially in Colorado and the heavy military community, that need access to this kind of medicine and do not have it or cannot afford it. With the multiple aspects of marijuana, what we need most right now is for people to push and to help and to vote and to show that it is not an unsafe drug. It does need to be regulated. However, the medicinal benefits outweigh the costs, and it gives tax revenue to state government, allows people the medicine that they need, and if medical is maintained and then removed from the list, we will be able to access this kind of medicine within pharmacies, which would make it a lot easier for people who need this medicine to get what they need. Thank you.